You know, since I've kind of rebranded all of the Kent Hovind content as Hovind Watch, I was thinking about making a little intro for it. And I was thinking of mixing the Hatsune Miku Ready 1, 2, 3 Miku Miku Beam thing, primarily for the now it's time for a moment you've been waiting for line, with just something ridiculous where it's like a slug saying Hovind Watch or something stupid with some dumb music going. I don't know, just something completely ridiculous as an intro just to keep up with the inevitable absurdity of everything I do. But I'm also very lazy, so I'll probably never get around to that. That being said, we are here for another Hovind Watch, this time to watch his Whackanatheus Wednesday for August 20th of 2025, which, from what I've heard, he covers Pluto Pilot on that call from, what was it, Friday. So that should be interesting. Right. Let's get right to it. But first, I need to know, do I want to watch this on the Dr. Dino channel, or do we want to watch it on Ken Hovind Fan Club, which is just Kent's content being uploaded by Joseph and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland? You know what? We're going to give the watch on this one. We're going to do it on the Kent Hovind Fan Club channel.
Well, good evening, folks. Ken Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland. And
wow, look at all them pixels. Yeah. Also, let's notice that it was streamed 21 hours ago. So 7 o'clock last night. You know, this isn't a re-upload or anything. This was directly streamed to this channel. And Joseph has interacted with this channel, so it isn't even like it's just tangentially connected. They're directly streaming to it. So ban evasion.
slightly warm Alabama, going to cool down here the next week, though, is August the 20th, my sister's birthday.
Yeah, a sister you probably haven't talked to in for fucking ever. Because you don't talk to any of your family. Still loving them pixels. Seriously, we're at 720, p60 frames a second. And it's potato.
Washington, Lynn Austin, Lynn Hovind married Mike Austin. Maybe she's got a Facebook page. You can find it. Wish her happy birthday for me. She hasn't talked to me in probably a long time. Okay. Happy birthday, Lynn. So let's see. Whackanatheus tonight. We're going to deal with, what's his name again? Pluto Pilot. Okay. He calls in once in a while, and you're welcome to call again. Anyway, we're on a bunch of different channels, Facebook.
Should I send Kent an email? Because I was thinking today of sending him an email that is an ultimatum. So, you know, obviously it's ostensibly addressed to him, but really whichever one of his hired goons handles his email. Ostensibly to him, though. Linking to the video I made about the 1-year anniversary of him discovering me and, you know, telling Sergio to book him. Told Joseph to book him, but told Sergio to find this guy. Sergio ain't even at DAL anymore. I was thinking about linking that and sending an ultimatum that if Kent wants to debate me so badly, he has until X time to reach out and actually, or someone on his behalf explicitly reach out and set up with the requirement that on a stream, he specifically says that he wants to debate me in such verbiage as it's acknowledged that it is him requesting it and not me. I will not be gaslit into making it seem like I was the one who requested it. And I know they'll chicken out because they don't give in to any kind of demands like that. Which is fine. Just shows he's full of shit. I was thinking about doing that.
Rumble, X, our own app, Kelvin TV, Instagram, and all that kind of stuff.
And the ban evasion on YouTube. Don't forget. You know, on fucking YouTube, there's people's comments coming in. Look, from the other YouTube stream. How cute.
Be sure to like it, share it, all that kind of stuff you're supposed to do. Okay, here we go. August 20th, 2025. Boot camp coming up next Friday night and then Thursday.
Next Friday night and then Thursday. What?
Or Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Come on down to boot camp. If you have a creation ministry and you want to advertise or have us tell about your ministry, I wish there were thousands more creation ministries. How many teachers are there teaching evolution out there? How many museums and science centers push evolution? We're losing the war, folks. Get busy.
Good. It'll be nice when your kind are extinct, Kent.
Find something to do. You can start a museum in your basement, in your back porch, in your yard. Get a trailer, get a portable creation museum. Go to malls or shopping centers and do something, okay? Find something to do. If we can help, we want to.
Because YouTube is too busy censoring half the bigger creators out there because they said a word that's dumb. I don't know. I don't know. And you see this bubble gum gun? Tell me this is a fucking troll. They can't stop the OG. You're talking about Kent, or you're talking about your Jeebus? Because, but I don't know. It seems like they stopped him pretty well. Couple of nails, and he was done for.
So if you want to schedule a visit and stay, we'll get you a cabin. Everything's free. Go on our 777
Unless you stay for more than 7 minutes, in which case we'll put you to work.
club, so we can stay open for free. That's how we do it. People who love our ministry say, I help support you. Okay. DrDino.com is the website. Let's see. Hurricane coming soon. If you are fleeing the hurricane, want a place to stay, come to visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Titus can tell you.
Do not visit Dinosaur Adventureland. There is literally anywhere else would be safer, both structurally and by all ethical values. The DAL is a dangerous place to be. I listened to most of the Chris Jones discussion audio that Billy had re-uploaded recently. I'm thinking about taking my own cut of it and doing some compression and stuff, so everything's a little more balanced level-wise, and hopefully it can be automatically transcripted a little better, just so people can quickly skim through everything and see the facts are as they are as far as that audio recording. Point is, yeah, that place is horrible. As if I have to tell any of my audience.
Extension 5, if you have any cabins left open. For this Wednesday, for this weekend, I don't think it's a problem. For next weekend, but anyway, my idea, Joseph. Here you go. You ready? Yeah.
Fucking love how we got no fucking quality to this stream, but of course he calls AJ's content unwatchable.
When they goes down the zip line, you try to blast them off with the fire hose.
All of a sudden he's talking about fucking zip lines and shit. Jared suggesting that I watch the T-Jump Hovind debate from Standing for Bullshit. Yeah, that's on the agenda. That is on the agenda.
Or something cool. Fire departments, they get a new truck every so many years. What do they do with the old one? If it's got a bad transmission, it doesn't matter. We're going to park it in one spot, and we just want the bumper to work, okay? So, for the old fire truck we can get, please.
How about you just get some water pumping equipment? Where are you going to get all that water as well? Do y'all even have water pressure out there? I'm confused, Kent. You know the trucks don't provide pressure, right? Tell me you understand this. Please tell me Kent at all comprehends how fire trucks work. If not, dear God, how dumb are you, Kent?
Tell us. Okay, here we go. Pluto. He said, well, just let him speak for himself. Somebody else put this show together. I don't remember who it was. Let's see.
I don't know. I would love to tell you who it was, but the goddamned it's probably that channel I found the other day that's been sucking Kent's ass. Re-uploading shit and titling this interaction like Ken Hovind destroys atheists. It's like the only thing Ken Hovind destroys is his shorts after taco night.
There. Okay. Now
his shorts can't say "scoot over, honey."
Come over here.
Yeah, this is the dude. He does this thing where he's like, "I'm coming up." Like he edits these things that ain't his and tries to make it all badass.
Too many buttons to push. All of your argument is only to try to rescue time. You need billions of years. Okay, I'll give you billions of years. How do you turn an amoeba into a whale over trillions or quadrillions of years?
You can skip this, Kent, but no, you've got to watch someone glaze you. You just want to glaze all over your face. Oh yeah, give me the Hovind bukkake.
You're only trying to rescue time because you know how desperately you need time. Okay, I agree there's variations within the same kind. There's different types.
Logan, you are very welcome. Hope things get better and you're not feeling big sad. That sucks. I'm in that place regularly.
Types of dogs. Do you mean that is enough to convince you that dogs are related to cabbage?
Falk, honestly, yeah, there should be, but Hovind would see it as a win.
Do you believe you are related to cabbage? There are 6 different levels or stages of evolution. If you don't like it, too bad.
Well, rest easy, Kent. You can rest easy tonight because none of that, what you teach about the 6 levels, is being taught in the universities. There's none of it.
None of what I'm teaching about.
What is meant by that? And if you could at all be an honest person for once and read between the lines, is the idea that it's all somehow tied to the same overarching concept of evolution. Your level construct is a fabrication of, I would say, your own making, but it's something you got from that Morris dude or whatever who you just ripped off. So it's not even original to you. You're just the only person who says that shit who's around currently.
The 6 levels of evolution is being taught at universities. Well, let me explain it to you. Let's see. Right here. Okay. There.
This man can't even make it out of the intro. Can't even make it out of the intro before he's got to go to his damn slides.
I've said for years when you have to define exactly what you're talking about.
And you've also been fucking wrong for years in what you actually define things as, because you're a dishonest piece of shit.
First, I have to find my mouse. There it is. Okay. Wrong screen. There. Okay. Definition of evolution.
Well, Billy, they send it to one place. It's just going to Restream, and then it's multiplexed out from Restream. So it isn't a matter of them going to like 12 different services at once. It's one service that's then going out to the 12. So this is just raw bandwidth failure on their end, like internally. Because they're just pumping one stream.
Cosmic evolution.
Given, as people said, they probably use Starlink for their internet service, there's probably a cloud in the way.
At the beginning of the origin of time, space, matter. That is a vital part of the theory. Okay, without that, nothing else matters, okay?
It is irrelevant because the model only applies to already living things. Why? Because that's the framework that you work in. As Pluto said, in the very, interaction that you're looking at a dude's, re-upload of, every single idea in science doesn't need to be a theory of everything. You can compartmentalize things, and indeed, you do regularly.
None of the other steps matter. They are simply all fairy tales. This would be moving. There'd be nothing to evolve, no space to evolve in, and no energy to make it happen. This is nothing but a propaganda poster. There is no science to support this big.
There also ain't enough of an internet connection to support your stream, but you keep on going.
Watch this for name. With a peer-reviewed, publishes in peer-reviewed journals and has a degree from an accredited university. Just as biological.
This is kind of telling in how this is cutting in and out, and it's not even that big of a gap. But when he comes back in and the stream goes back to some level of coherency, he's just saying some other completely random shit. And it truly goes to show how absolutely disorganized, yet simultaneously rigid, everything Hovind says and does is. It's just the same rhetoric. The same set of ad-libs. Just pick and choose and insert them into something that resembles actual coherent statements. It's pathetic. Some people will be like, "Oh, why don't you debate him, Chris? You're too scared." It's like, why? Why debate him? There's nothing new. If you've addressed a video of his, you've addressed everything he has to say. The only difference is doing it in real time or doing it in a planned video, or, you can mix it up like I do and like AJ does and just do a live reaction to whatever the hell he's saying.
Evolution is the heart of modern biology.
Not like he's going to say anything different. It's not like he's going to interact with what you actually have to say. Then he'll come back a week later after he's made a half-ass list of excuses for things he couldn't answer, deflect for 20 minutes, and then maybe bring up one of his new counterpoints. Remember ERVs? He wasn't prepared for that until eventually he became prepared for it because too many people brought it up. Hovind learned.
Cosmic evolution is the heart of modern cosmology. There is such a thing as cosmic evolution. Where did time-space matter come from?
Colloquial times. Did religion evolve, Kent? Can we talk about the evolution of Christianity, Hovind?
Biological evolution requires the products of cosmic evolution. So, Pluto, you're wrong. I'm right. There are 6 parts to evolution. Evolution.
Yeah, Billy, it is actually listenable now. So that is a big plus. I was just saying I'm gonna see what happens if I throw like 20 levels of compression on there with noise canceling and see what I get as far as voices go. But it is actually listenable. Probably going to honestly link your video in a small piece I'm gonna write here soon.
Ascent with change of nature's many varied systems. Cosmic evolution includes the subjects of Big Bang, I'm sorry, I've been a hot day today. Comprises a holistic explanatory narrative of countless changes within and among organized systems. Oh, okay. A consistent, objective, and comprehensive worldview of material reality. George Lemaitre, the father of the Big Bang, American Museum of Natural History. According to the Big Bang Theory, the expansion of the observable universe began with an explosion of a single particle at a definite point in time, which is stupid. Tell him I said so, okay? That's real stupid. You can believe that if you wish, but that's dumb. You couldn't fit a glass.
According to the Hovind theory, some magical sky wizard just existed outside of all of reality and then just farted everything into existence and made a dirt man and a rib woman after the dirt man decided none of the animals were fun to fuck. That's why Hovind said, I'm gonna make them fun. And that's why he does that, allegedly. I have no evidence of this. It's a joke. I would say don't sue me, Hovind, but Hovind be the kind of person to sue me, and I'd end up winning money in the end. Nothing but failure, Kent. Nothing but failure with you. But yeah, you want to talk about shitty interpretations of the reality of actual science is stupid. It's fine, Kent. I can do the same to what you believe, make absurdities out of it, and then talk shit about it. It's easy to do. Really fun. I kind of see why you do it. The only difference is, I do it as a joke. You do it because you are a joke.
Water into a spot dot smaller than an atom. Where did the universe come from? Time, space, matter began with the Big Bang. In a fraction of a second, the universe grew from smaller than a single atom. Now that's tiny. To bigger than a galaxy. You want to get a picture of how big an atom is, okay? If you took a grain of salt, one grain of salt.
God, he's already on his just straight up bullshit. Just spend so much time constantly saying the same shit. The same shit. You know what I'd rather be doing right now? I'd rather be playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night, because I fucking love that game, and I realize it's been several years since I played it, and I really need to go back through it. It's a regular replay, and I think I might rig up something and do that here sometime soon. Could stream on Twitch, I don't know. Like anyone wants to watch me on Twitch.
Look at it under the microscope. Almost always it's near perfect cube. If you expanded that grain of salt to the size of the Sears only link, the atoms in that grain of salt, sodium chloride, would grow also to become as big as the original grain of salt. How many grains of salt would it take to stack up to make as tall as the Sears Tower? That's how many atoms are in the one side.
Kent, it's been called the Willis Tower for decades now.
Of a grain of salt. So atoms are tiny. You want to squeeze the whole universe into that? That is such a stupid theory. Why on earth did you believe that? Didn't your mama teach you to watch out for idiots that are going to try to teach you something dumb?
Look in the mirror, fucktard.
That's dumb, okay? Anyway, so cosmic evolution is essential. Then you have to have, let's see, home. You have to have chemical evolution. The chemicals would have to evolve. Say the Big Bang produced hydrogen. Okay. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but there's more than one element called hydrogen in the universe. There are 92 naturally occurring elements. Big Bang created all the matter and energy. The hydrogen and helium in the universe were created in moments after the Big Bang. Heavy elements came later. This is a story. They're not giving any evidence of this.
How about you read into the actual papers on this? How about you do some math and crunch the numbers yourself, Kent? Instead of just taking a cursory look at search results and using that as points. I could do the same thing and dismantle everything you believe in a matter of seconds. I should do that, honestly. I should prepare a PowerPoint slide exactly like Hovind does and just destroy everything he believes using the same logic, using the same methodologies.
Hydrogen and helium atoms emerged 379,000 years after the Big Bang. How on earth could they know something like that? They make up these dumb stories, and you guys believe it. Shame on you. Okay? Very beginning, at least following the Big Bang, there was hydrogen and some helium. And
give me just a second. I have a response to that, but I'm snacking.
A little bit of lithium. Well, it's a good thing we couldn't have most of our battery. A grand total of 3
piss off, Kent.
elements. Today.
Okay, so him wondering why we would know it was 379,000 years after cosmic inflation would have begun. That is my favorite moment in the history of the universe, known as the recombination epoch, when the temperatures would have reached a point cool enough to where baryonic matter could have actually formed, i.e., your hydrogen, your helium, and your little bits of lithium would actually have properly coalesced from that plasma, the quark gluon plasma that would have existed beforehand, then eventually would have cooled into subatomic particles. You would have had your protons, your neutrons. Well, very few neutrons at first, but then they would have formed. Hence the helium and then the lithium. But yeah, that's the magic moment. That's the moment when the cosmic microwave background is from, and that's the moment the universe finally became opaque to where you could actually, or no, from opaque to transparent. It was the point where you could actually see. It wasn't just, constant dense whatever. Universe was weird early on. The reason we know that particular time frame is because of the known distribution of matter in the universe, the temperature that this stuff would have been at up to that point. The math works out. It really is that simple, Kent. But you just go, nuh-uh, how could you know that? And it's like, I don't know, maybe look in the actual science.
There are nearly 100 naturally known elements with hundreds of variants. Yeah, okay. Where'd they come from? Within 3 minutes after the Big Bang, how do they know that? Conditions cooled.
Math. That's how they know it, Kent. Math.
Enough for protons and neutrons to form hydrogen nuclei. Right. Another made-up story. This is called the area of nucleosynthesis. Some of these nuclei combine to form helium, though in smaller quantity, just a few percent. How do they? They're making up a story. Can't you guys see? Chemical evolution, the formation of complex. There is such a thing as chemical evolution. Chemical evolution. I'm not.
And it's funny. It's always the stuff that he just cannot just go nuh-uh to. Well, he should. There's no way he can go nuh-uh to it and anyone will take him seriously. That he accepts just fine, but the moment he can poo-poo it away, he does. So funny.
Making it up, Pluto. There are 6 stages to the evolution religion. By the way, they want to combine hydrogen to get helium and lithium and all these elements. Well, you can't fuse past iron.
Yes, you can, dumbass.
So how do you get all these other elements past iron?
Dying star go boom. Already dead star or stars getting fatter off other matter go big boom. You throw 2 black holes together, Kent, you get any element you fucking want. I would not be surprised if at the moment of black holes colliding, which does happen, we detected the fucking gravitational waves from one of those events, you would not get ultra heavy elements, stuff that we are unable to synthesize on Earth currently. Stuff in the 300 or 400 atomic weight range for fractions of an instant, maybe Planck seconds at best, get ultra massive nuclei that are intrinsically unstable. That'd be fucking awesome. Hey, you want element 400? Here you go. Holy shit.
Which stars fuse elements up to iron? The most massive stars in the universe. At least.
Yes, this so watchable stream. I cannot get enough of how incredibly watchable this stream is. Remember, everyone, AJ's content is absolute garbage, but this is the pinnacle of all streaming content. Needless to say, I'd rather be watching Chibidoki, and I don't even watch her actual streams. I just watch clips. Yes, I bring up that little gremlin a lot. She makes me smile every day.
8 times have enough temperature and pressure, they can fuse elements all the way up to iron. Well, then, where'd the elements for the star come from? You got a chicken and an egg problem. You got to have the elements to make the stars, and the stars to make the elements. And even
already had hydrogen, dumbass.
Then you only get up to iron. Even mass.
Stars just need hydrogen. That's it. What do you not understand, Kent?
Higher mass stars will burn neon after carbon is used up. However, once iron is reached, fusion is halted. Wonder why that is.
Kent, let's go over this, because we've gone over it a few times, as I demonstrate that I know more about this subject than you know about anything at all. You're not fusing past iron, because it does take more energy than you get out of it. So it's a dead-end process. It's an energy sink. But you do produce iron, but you're not reaching a point where trying to push anything further is going to get you anywhere. So generally, iron is about where stars balance out. That ash, you could call it, from the fusion chain, settles at the core. And layer just keep adding onto and adding onto. Until either the star finally dies, from other processes, goes a red hypergiant, leaves behind, a white dwarf core with all the other layers of lighter elements as you progressively get higher up. Or something wonderful happens. That iron core reaches the Chandrasekhar limit. Probably my favorite value in all of the universe. 1.4 solar masses. At that point, electron degeneracy pressure is overridden by gravitational force, and the core collapses. What happens then? All the other gases, all the other materials of the star collapse at quite a fast speed. Then the core reaches that point where neutron degeneracy pressure takes over, and for however long it's going to be in that state, possibly permanently, possibly only for a moment, you get a neutron star at the core. What happens to all that other material, that gigatons of material just chilling? Well, was chilling, was a nuclear furnace, still is. It crashes into the core, which also happens to rebound in this process, slapping the material coming in. And where the interface between the two sections is, the core rebounding and the other material falling in, far, far more energy in that moment than the star would have produced during its entire lifetime. Giving you all the potential you need, all the kinetic energy, all the fast neutrons, everything you need. Actually, you don't even need the fast neutrons per se. They still got to be moderated in some degree, but this is super dense, so the neutrons get slowed down. Point is, neutron capture can occur. You get your protons, you get your more electrons bonding. Boom, you get heavier elements. It's an incredibly beautiful process. At least one to think about, because obviously, we're a little far away from stars that'll do that, and thankfully we are. Otherwise, they would wipe everything off the face of the Earth if we were anywhere near that. But yeah, then all that material gets spread through near space, and whatever happens to it after that happens. form a nice little nebula that may get with other nebula. All those materials might coalesce into new stars, new planetary systems. That's how we came about. The sun is at least a third generation star. Could be, fourth, probably a third. Definitely a population 1 star, with population 3 being the earliest stars. Yes, it goes backwards. And then you know what you're left with at the core, Kent? It's still possibly that neutron star I mentioned forming, as a cat demands to come into the room and will not be let in. Or you get a nice black hole if it was a bit higher mass. Just depends. Depends on how much of that core stays together. I really, really like this subject, Kent. I really like it. I mean, we're talking in my favorite stuff that happens in the universe. I don't know why. This is just where my heart leads me. Tread carefully, Hovind. I will fucking stomp a mud hole in your ass when it comes to this, and I'm still a layperson. I just happen to have been gifted with the good kind of tism. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let's continue with the Hovind Watch.
Since iron is so tightly bound, no energy can be extracted by fusion. They make up the story. So I point out, and I'll do it for the rest of my life, and my videos will keep doing it after I'm dead. There are 6 meanings to the word evolution. After that, you'd have to have stellar and planetary evolution. Nobody's seen a planet or star form. How do you get...
Now, note all that I just said, and obviously not like Hovind's going to be responding. This is a pre-recorded video, but notice all that I had to say on the subject. And Hovind just like, they just made it up. Here's your story. All that. And that's what he thinks will dismiss it.
fragments from a big bang that are all going away from each other like spokes on a wheel? How do you get them to meet out in space someplace?
Gravity, you fucking retard. Have you ever heard of gravity? Gravity! Yes, I dropped the R word, but I'm going to quote Desert File correctly because that is one of the greatest clips from the internet.
The longer you wait, the further apart they get. They make up a story. They don't have any scientific evidence. It's a story. Organic evolution, the origin of life. You want to get right past that, don't you, Pluto? You want to start with living things and say that's all evolution talks about. Then you have macroevolution. Anyway, let's go back to that Pluto bluff.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that.
Let's see. All right. Here. Okay.
It is being taught in the textbook.
Where did the energy come from?
The Big Bang, I don't know. The Big Bang does not even try to address that. Now, there are science.
So, is it okay if we don't know where God came from?
It can be. It depends on how you try to use logic of knowing and not knowing where things come from and what that means in the context of the discussion. When you suddenly try to use it as a, aha, so you can't know anything about this, that, or the other, or aha, you don't know something, therefore God, it's like, no, it doesn't work that way, buddy. It's context sensitive. Okay, I know it's an alien concept to you, but it depends on the context.
See, you just demonstrated you have a religion.
Also, you're still in the goddamned intro, Kent.
I admit, I believe by faith God created the universe. Where did he come from? Don't know. I don't think anybody can know. Where did matter and energy and time come from? You don't know. Okay, well, then you have a religion like I do. So why am I paying for years to be taught in the schools? What?
Not a religion, dumbass. We've explained this to you.
Why don't you pay for mine to be taught for the next 50 years? Dumb.
How about you eat some more apricot seeds, fuckface?
Dumb. Okay. Got our princess on the island in a golden castle, and you want to start from there. We're going to eat your cousins tomorrow for lunch. Cabbage. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Hello.
Desert File still exists? I thought they were just a legend. Yo, I'm going to have to get back in on that stuff. Like, I just know the name. I never even thought about looking them up. I just know that clip and fucking love it. Hell yeah.
Hi. I know. You're calling in to announce you got converted.
No, not today.
Okay. You better before you die. I would highly recommend it, but go ahead.
this, measuring using parallax. Now, you've been told, you don't use parallax to measure very distant stars.
Parallax is where you have two observation points looking at a third point. It makes a triangle.
Yeah, let's be clear. I'm trying to work very hard on no longer using the R word in as much a capacity as having grown up in the 90s will make me want to. Just as a matter of bettering myself. I still... It still has its uses. Fire retardant. So it's one of those words that you can't totally eliminate, and you shouldn't totally eliminate, but once you understand context, you don't use it as an insult. I mean, I guess you could. Doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna police anybody, but super sticker. We got a thumbs up super sticker that I sadly cannot see from Hollander. Only reason I can't see it is that Restream doesn't show such. So €249. Thank you. So happy for the support. But yeah, our word. Let's try to be conservative with it. Okay, let's not go throwing it around. But some people are damn stupid.
Eyes do that all the time. You have two eyes.
And one of them is Hovind. He dumb.
Say 4 inches apart. You can roughly tell the distance to that projector is probably about 16 feet.
4 inches apart. What is the average human eye spacing? All right, let's let me share tab instead. Average distance between the centers of an adult pupils is 63 millimeters, 50 to 75 millimeters. So we're just gonna do this. 2.4. Let's double check what the clown said.
Observation points looking at a third point. It makes a triangle. Your eyes do that all the time. You have two eyes, say 4 inches apart. You can.
Maybe if you're related to a hammerhead shark, Kent. Not for us. You fucking idiot.
Can roughly tell the distance to that projector is probably about 16 feet. Okay? Because my eyes are tilted in a little bit, towed in to focus on one spot. That's called parallax trigonometry. If you look at that and then look at a spot behind it,
No, the math to calculate things using that logic is parallax trigonometry. Your eyes focusing is just your eyes focusing, you idiot.
Thumb up, close one eye, switch eyes. It looks like it moves. That's the parallax, okay? Never mind. They think they can tell the distance to stars with parallax trigonometry for millions of light years. I point out to find the parallax trigonometry to find a dot 100 light years away is like having two guys in Pensacola 16 inches apart, both looking at a dot in Chicago.
Well, let's be clear, Otaku. I will still say it from time to time. I just try to be very, very reserved on it. It's complicated. I can explain it better in Discord how I feel on stuff.
And they want to tell how far away the dot is. They don't know. All they know is there's a dot up there. They see the dot. They look at their eyes, their line of sight. How far out of parallel would those telescopes be?
Yeah, and let's be clear. Under no circumstances ever would I dare to use the term against anyone with actual special needs. In the case of Kent Hovind, however, since he will liberally use the word, I feel it is acceptable to occasionally reverse that onto him. Under the logic of Kent is truly mentally inhibited when he shouldn't be. He should be smarter than this, and he's not. So, no excuse, Kent. You are, as the Bible says, willfully ignorant. And yes, the other R word, Republican.
If the dot, they're 16 inches.
I thought about something, and this is something I was thought about saying. Logic I thought about as like a kid was like, China, People's Republic of China. Oh, it's a republic. Republicans, republic. There you go. You're just like the evil Chinese. Huge. You know, you can use Kent logic on anything like that. Oh no. Anyway, nah. God, I don't want to put up with any more Kent. I want to talk about neutron stars. You guys ever heard the sound from pulsars? It's really cool. Get this little radio blip every time it spins, angles your way. Sometimes they get pretty fucking fast. Millisecond pulsars sound like a steady hum. Find one at 440 hertz, the A note, you could tune your damn guitar to it. Anyway.
Part. And the dot's 830 miles away. You think you can guess that? That's the problem. That's for 100 light years. So when they say there's 10 billion light years, no, it may be true. Nobody knows. They don't know either.
Yes, that was the pupillary distance I was discussing earlier specifically. I have had to know that myself before I ordered these glasses myself. And they suck.
And if it was 10 billion...
Did I order wrong, or did the... I don't think so. I think it was the doctor not giving a fuck. Last time I take a free Walmart eye exam. Bastard.
Light years away. That doesn't prove it took 10 billion years for the light to get here. The Bible says God made the earth, and then he made the stars, and then he stretched them out. They could be 10 billion light years away and have been created yesterday. They don't get it. Okay.
Use standard candles.
So you're telling me you can tell how far away a star is by how bright it is. Are all the stars in the universe burning at the same brightness right now, regardless
No,
of...
you use type 1A supernova.
Yeah, he lied by double, telling his wives that. I'm sure they knew better, though. They were all smarter than him.
There are many different varieties of stars out there, burning at different temperatures, burning with different colors. So if you're trying to tell the distance to a star...
Zumi brings up that the only word she's truly banned from her vernacular is the N word. Can't think of any other word that I'll simply never use. Yeah. We will not be discussing that one further. R word has a very different meaning in the dictionary and doesn't refer to humans. Kent isn't human, so yes, it's okay to call him R word. Used to be an actual diagnostic term along with moron. I was labeled as educational mentally retarded in 3rd grade. That's a category not used anymore. I was not EMR. Yeah. Nimrod and AL Trucker are stalking each other. They would be redshifted into oblivion, exactly.
Based on the color or based on the brightness, I think that's a real stretch. But even then, if the stars are billions of light years away, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying we can't measure that. If they are.
Mary Toko was at least smart enough to leave Kent. So she's got one brain cell still firing.
It still doesn't prove the universe is billions of years old. They don't get it.
Hi, Kent, you don't get it. All the math works out perfectly fine in our model, and yours requires miracle after miracle after miracle to remotely be accurate to anything we observe, but then that just breaks other aspects of reality.
Joseph, how else can I say it where they can maybe get it?
Try singing.
Try singing. You don't want to hear me sing. Okay.
And you know, it's the same as the inverse square law applies. And you know that it applies to light.
Okay, now just slow down now. You're telling me that you can tell how far away a star is by how bright it is. Is that your position?
Type 1A supernova. Yeah, that's a
Just
standard
yes or no,
candle.
So you can tell by how the luminosity, the candle power of that star determines the distance. But wouldn't that be assuming that you already know what type star it is? How do you know what type star it is?
The type 1A supernova. And using the inverse square law, you seem to be all over moon. Okay, but now you're going to deny it when it comes to starlight.
I'm not denying anything. I understand the inverse square law. It's got nothing to do.
No, you don't, Kent.
My question was...
You don't actually understand anything. You know how to cite random things and to speak random things. You don't know anything about these things of which you speak.
You are claiming that you can tell the distance to a star based on how bright it is. And you can tell what type of star it is.
Yes. Yeah, scientists know very well how to measure the distance of a star using the brightness, using the standard candle.
Okay, let's assume that we do know the distance to the star. Does that therefore tell us the age? How long it took the light to get here? Wouldn't that be assuming that the speed of light's always been consistent?
Because it is. The value C is consistent. You're going to try to argue light traveling through a vacuum somehow just magically changing speed. You notice, Kent, when you bring this up, that what you're going to bring up, because I remember, it's only a few days ago, I remember us going over this discussion with you and the awesomeness that is Pluto Pilot. You talk about scientists speeding up and slowing down light. Well, why don't we see it just naturally doing that? You notice it's oddly consistent in, outside of the lab? Also, what you think they're doing isn't what they're actually doing. And Pluto corrects you on this, but you don't understand, the corrections applied. You're too stupid to grasp that. What's he talking about? But the fact that this doesn't actually occur in nature in any random way like you think it does, kind of tells plenty. It's funny when the scientists can do whatever and you think it applies to nature, yet simultaneously, when it's something you think your God needed to do, nature can't do it. So weird.
Well, if you want to mess with the speed of light, that E equals MC squared, right?
I understand. Yeah.
So M equals E divided by C squared. You adjust C.
Theory, right? This formula, yeah.
Right. Yeah. If you manipulate C.
Yes. Let's be clear on the R word. Is that it means to inhibit, and that is actually the context in which I choose to use it, in the idea that he has an inhibited way of thinking. If I was to say that to Kent Hovind, for whatever value that has to stuff. Still try to avoid for the connotations that people, they don't fucking like it. And I can understand that.
You change the value for mass as well. To get starlight from the edge of the visible universe to the Earth, you're going to have to increase the speed of light by 2.3 million, a factor of 2.3 million. You do that.
He's just making up all this big stuff, and most uneducated people just swallow it. Well, it's got to be true. Look at all these big.
It's not made up. It's, as you like to call it, Kent, real science. And it's not my fault, Pluto's fault, or the scientist's fault if you're too stupid to understand it. Call the colleges you went to and got your fake diplomas from and ask them for your money back, because they obviously didn't teach you anything.
Words, okay? Don't buy it, okay? I'm going to get to one more thing here, okay?
You increase the mass as well, and you affect the mass. You're going to destroy the universe. It's a bad approach.
Well, yeah. So if we change the speed of the universe.
Good fucking God. I mean, I've made unwatchable jokes, but Kent, this truly is barely watchable.
I cover on video number 7 all kinds.
Just beautiful. And look, that came up because it's from Restream.
I think you have a bad.
Wow, we heard none of that, Kent. Good job. Your streams are fucking terrible. They're as bad as you. And yes, Kent, if the value of C was different, you would affect everything in the universe. Since just about every fundamental, well, a lot of fundamental forces are tied to that value. Everything's pretty well affected by it.
Approach, correct. Einstein's formula, E equals mc squared. The energy is the mass times the speed of light squared. I think that was just an example. I don't think that's an exact number. You're saying the speed of light squared is exactly, that's just an example of how much energy and mass, how they're related to each other. He
Well,
could have
then
said
you,
E equals MC. He could have
well,
said E
then
equals
you
MC cubed.
real math. You can go collect, you prove Einstein wrong and collect your Nobel Prize.
Oh, I love little moments like that. Just call it out. Be like, okay, Kent, go and prove wrong. When Austin Sims has demonstrated that Kent can't do fucking any complicated math and wishes in no way, shape, or form to discuss his teaching credentials or his math capabilities, thus showing he truly doesn't know anything about anything.
Prove Einstein wrong and collect a Nobel Prize. Hang on. I think you have to prove it's right. Let me give you an example here. Right here. Where's the mouse? Here we go. Okay. There we go. E, energy. M, mass. C is the speed of light. If you take the speed of light times the speed of light, you're squared, okay? It doesn't really matter to me, but...
Kent, it's not the speed of light. I grow real tired of having to tell people this. C is a value. Light, traveling in a vacuum, does reach that velocity. But that's basically it, since it's effectively massless. Photons are. It's complicated. It has to do with the wave aspect of the wave particle duality. Fuck, light's fucking weird, but photons are fucking weird, I should say, because technically radio signals are light. Technically. That's neither here nor there, though. Don't get me started on the electromagnetic spectrum. Seriously, it's fucking weird. But let's see where you go from this. But you need to understand that the value is the value. Light doesn't actually matter for this math. This is all about the maximum potential energy in a given value of baryonic matter. In one way of simplifying it. Do you even know what a baryon is, Kent? Do you know what a quark gluon plasma is? Do you know what a Bose-Einstein condensate is? Really wonder if you know what that is.
C, the speed of light, or 186,000 miles per second, times 186,000 is 34 billion.
This man doing scientific math in imperial units. Some things there are just no words for. But remember, he loves science. And he's using miles a second.
596 million. 596 million what? You can use metric system or English system. Is something other system? Is miles per second a unit of energy? Come on now. Could it be that E equals MC to the 2.1 power? Or to the third power, MC cubed? Einstein was just picking a big number to show that this energy is enormous in a certain amount of mass. I don't think there's any way to test the exactness of that formula, and nor do I care. It may be right, but you can't possibly prove that's right.
Actually, Kent, yeah. Yeah, you can. We know mass ratio changes from spent nuclear fuel. And we know roughly how much energy we got out of it via whatever process it's being used for. And so when you extrapolate, the difference gives you, through some math, the value C. You do some reversing of some formulas, and you get C. It's really funny. And I suck with math, but I understand it. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Do you know that the energy contained in an object is exactly 196 million something or others? You don't know that. Speed of light. I see it was just a big number.
You need to ask Kent, does the Pope shit in the woods?
Cross, so that's all. Just a lot of energy in Hiroshima.
There he goes, making a Hiroshima joke.
I'm
So
not saying he was wrong. I'm saying he was giving
quality content. I should ask Kent if he can describe to me the weapon used on Hiroshima. He couldn't do it.
an example how much energy and how they're related. The
Right.
energy is equal to the mass times this huge number.
Stream gone.
Cubed. And still,
Stream back.
we get the point across. You don't know that it's exactly mc speed of light squared, do you? Does anybody know that? How could you know that?
then you, I guess, like I said, you do the math. Show us the real math. Show us the Hovind math.
The Hovind math. Kent wouldn't know a resonance cascade if it caused the combine to take over.
How it gives better predictions and give relativity.
Well, first of all, I will say mass out of wood and burn it and produce energy.
That's a chemical reaction.
Can you take the energy and produce mass? Show me any place where energy has been used to produce mass. Just energy.
Stars. Fusion. Stellar fusion. Something you acknowledge happens, Kent. So, shut up.
The Hadron Collider.
The Hadron Collider is taking energy and producing mass from it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'd have to disagree. I'll look into that more. But
okay, look into it. Now, as far as this speeding the light up and down, that 1999 paper, it was talking about the group velocity, which is what's happening actually inside the wavelength, or the phase velocity, and that's light when it passes velocity. C was not changed in that.
That value is obviously 420,069 because he decided to do this for his Whack and Atheist Wednesday, and this was like a Friday video that happened, so he was definitely feeling that multiple of butthurt.
In that paper. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about increasing either the group or the phase velocity. So the front velocity, or C, no, that was not changed.
I would ask.
So it's group or phase velocity that are changed in the thing that Hovind constantly loves to reference. Neither one of those being the front velocity, which is the quote-unquote speed of light we all think of. Okay. I'm trying to commit that to memory.
You to go to icr.org. They've got a couple of physicists on that staff there. ICR Institute.
ICR doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
For creation research.
And what the fuck is this? I mean, this random shit in your slides is just fucking stupid, Kent.
And read the articles they've done on this topic. But I want to look at a little bigger picture here. All of your argument is only to try to rescue time. You need.
And there he goes. That's the part where he's just like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's talk about something else, because you know more than me. So I'm going to try to make it look like I know more than you, because I'm Hovind. And I got to go on my script, because that's all I've got. If it didn't have my script, I'd just be a dribbling, babbling idiot, which I already am, but at least with my script, I got my script. Hovind.
Need billions of years. Okay, I'll give you billions of years. How do you turn an amoeba into a whale over trillions or quadrillions of years? You're only trying to rescue time because you know how desperately you need time. Okay. For the moment, I'll say, I'll give you billions of years. Now, where's the evidence of evolution is what I want to talk about. Because all you're doing tonight is trying to say, well, we got time because it took time for the starlight to get here. I think I just showed plenty of papers where that's not.
Not that I'm aware of, Rochester Swift, but if anyone else out there knows if Hovind has any formal connection to the scumbag known as Doug Wilson, share in the chat, or if this is after the fact, in the comments, so our friend here may get an answer, for I do not know. But I would like to know.
Not necessarily the case, but it's a minor point compared to the bigger picture. Where's the evidence for evolution? That's the title of tonight's program. Evolution is a religion.
It's title everything you fucking do, because that's all you're able to talk about, and even then you can only go on your fucking script and your parade of straw men.
As
well, to Google Scholar, enter evolution into the search engine, and there are tens of thousands of papers.
Pluto, go to North Korea, enter evidence for communism. You will get tens of thousands of papers that say, oh, communism's wonderful, communism's good. Enter.
I've said before, you know nothing about North Korea, so shut up.
Evidence against communism, and nothing will show up. From living authors, anyway.
Aye, North Korea is a Juche state. Sungun policies. North Korea is not technically communist. Technically. But, you know, we're not here to discuss the finer nuances of the DPRK. Although that would be another fun conversation because you know Jack Diddley shit about that. Because you know Jack Diddley shit about anything. It's also fun to say Jack Diddley shit sometimes, so let's continue.
America, the West in general, is so bought into this stupid evolution religion that stuff that goes against it doesn't get published in peer-reviewed journals, does it? Used to. Well,
yes. As our friend Al Trucker here says, yep, I'm 100% that our existence is evidence for evolution. Full stop. If only Kent was a human, he'd have a shred of humanity. Exactly. Friends needed me to try to get something out of, it was stuck, something that slid into another thing was kind of stuck in there up at work. And they were like, hey, Chris, can you get this out of here? And you know, there's a little bit of grip, but it's like, I'm not going to be able to pull this out. So I just pulled my keys, poked it through, and then was able to slide out easy. And I'm like, yeah, just use my primitive ape brain. Ape brain, see problem. Ape brain, no, poke will suffice. Finger too big, key small enough, poke through, object out. Yay. It's like, come on. Give me something harder.
no.
You know, give me a problem my ancestors 3 million years ago weren't solving.
Now, evolution, how is it defined? Frequencies in populations.
Time is important. If I told you, let's see, if you kissed a frog, it would turn to a prince.
The fuck even is that shit? Where the fuck did you even get that? That shit's stupid. You're stupid. You're dumb, Kent. You are really dumb. Rochester Swift asks, let me guess. Whenever anyone calls Hovind out for his leaps of logic and topic changing, he calls them rude and cuts them off. Yeah. Well, more correctly, he has Joseph cut him off. Joseph, turn off their mic. Turn off their mic. All my years dealing with Hovind, I've never heard the name Doug Wilson connected with him. Hope that helps. Billy is a very reliable source on Hovind information, so that seems to give us a clue. Work in the ER? I wish. It's only get a cylinder out of an M&M's tube. Nope. No, it was if you're wondering, it was kind of like a poster holder kind of thing, or like an anime wall scroll kind of assembly, but used up at work for advertising signage. They were replacing some stuff, and yeah. I think even Hovind is too embarrassing for Willison. Ken has been asked if he thinks it's a conspiracy that science is just making up stuff to hide God. I don't think he ever wanted to answer that. No, he basically says it without saying it. So, yeah. Kissing a frog to get a prince sounds more like something out of his book than a science book. Yep.
You would say that's a fairy tale. I agree. Frogs do not turn to princes. But if I told you if you wait billions of years, your frog will turn to a prince. See, the amoeba, billions of years ago, slowly turned to a frog and slowly became a prince.
Okay, boomer fascist. I like that.
Now they call it science. So if the frog turns to the prince quickly, it's a fairy tale. But if it turns to the prince slowly, over time, that's modern science.
Well, I mean, you know, Kent, given the words quickly and slowly regard the duration of an event's occurrence, yeah, I think time is involved. Tell me you barely know English without telling me you barely know English. Hovind. Also ignoring the absolute idiocy of this and how it in no way, shape, or form is anything anyone discusses, except Hovind.
This is the whole argument he's giving tonight about starlight, which they always do. They need billions of years to turn their frog to a prince.
Once again, nope. No one's talking about frogs turning into princes. That's, as Taku put it, more like something out of your book. And, nope, the time is evident, Kent. The time is evident. And the couple of things you and your other goons always say shows, oh, I can't be, are lies. Just straight lies. Fabrications in one capacity or another. Intentional misrepresentations of data. And so on and so forth. Because you suck. God, I want this stream to be over. I would end this stream, but y'all know I'm very methodical about it, going through all of the Hovind. So let's finish this up.
That's the problem. Anyway, then he gets into allele frequency. There's a bunch of stuff on that, but over time already, brother.
Let the record show that Maria comes from the portion of the baby boomer generation that's fucking awesome. Because there were a lot of them who were pretty fucking awesome, and then some not so. Jesus Steele Kent. I actually just watched a YouTube short someone had done of a Family Guy clip that went through that, so hence me getting the seal joke.
Allele frequencies, what versions of a gene can exist at a specific location or locus on a chromosome, okay? Each individual inherits two for most genes, one from each parent, one from your mom, one from your dad. Understanding alleles. Copies of genes made up of hereditary chromosome passed down from each parent. What is an allele? Alleles are gene copy traits. They decided.
So all of a sudden he's all in on this. Okay.
If you got blue eyes or blonde hair or whatever, okay? Alleles are copies of genes that influence hereditary
And there he goes obsessing with his blonde hair, blue eyes. Nazi!
characteristics. Each person inherits at least two of a particular gene, one from each parent. This is called allomorphs. A good example of how alleles are expressed is eye color. Whether we have blue or brown eyes depends on the alleles that are passed down from our parents. You can read about that for yourself. Okay, let's see one more here. There.
And when you do, if you go deeper, you'll suddenly realize everything Hovind says is a load of shit, and evolution is an absolute fact.
Allele, passed down from the parents. There. What is an allele? A variant of a gene controlling the same trait. So yes, there are variations in the alleles, and you might get, one from your
It's what happens if you misspell alley.
mom, one from your dad, but you're not going to get an allele from the dog. Okay. So the allele frequency is not going to cause any evolution. And his whole argument was about time. I keep asking guys, where's the hard evidence for evolution? I want to see where any animal is.
Everything's been shown to you, and what you accept as evolution, what you think it is not what it actually is. So what you actually want is impossible by your own design. But if you would understand and accept what the actual scientists have to actually classify things as, you might be surprised to learn that, oh shit, there's nothing but evidence for it. But you don't want to actually learn anything or to know anything about anything because you're a dishonest fuck.
Produced an animal that's not the same kind. And well, it happened so slow you can't see it. Well, then it's not science. Okay.
Except when it happens quick, like the particular dog transmissible cancer, canine transmissible cancer, I should have said. It's like a venereal cancer that would definitely be a different kind from the dog. Yet simultaneously, thanks to monophily, is still a dog, which is terrifying.
Okay, questions or comments, brother?
Everyone say it with me. Yeah, fuck you, Kent. There's my comment.
Let's see, from Deborah. His quote, I don't know, is the most honest thing. Amen. Nobody knows. That's why it's not science. Science is what we know. There's a lot of things we don't know, and they're not considered science. Evolution is not part of science. It's a religious belief. It might even be true later. Who knows? I don't think so. But even if it's proven true later, as of today, it's not science. Okay?
Except all this stuff is science, and all the things you rally against are absolutely true.
Go ahead.
So get over it. Get sealed, old man.
Yes, they just don't get it. God stretched out the heavens. 17 times it says God stretched out the heavens. He could have made it.
Yeah, and 666 times in the book of Chris it says, fuck you, Kent.
How old was Adam when God made him? 0. How old did he look? 72, the perfect age. Okay. So, go ahead. A farther star could be brighter than a closer star. That's dim. Something. Chemical reactions that are going on that could affect the brightness. I agree.
Well, Kevin Unger doesn't know jack diddly fucking shit about stars. It's not chemical there, buddy. It's not a chemical reaction, you dumbass. Think I'm wrong, Kevin Unger? Debate me. Call 855 Big Dildo and debate me. All right.
That's a real stretch to say you can tell how far away the star is based upon the brightness or color. I think that's just a real stretch. Firmament. Einstein is one of the gods of modern atheists. We're not supposed to question him. That's modern blasphemy. That's a good point.
No, that in no way, shape, or form is anything that anyone thinks. But when you say really stupid shit because you know fuck all about science, we're gonna call you out on it because it's really stupid fucking shit.
Ah, love it. Question. The answer is yes.
No, Kent, the funny response would have just been answer.
What's impossible is to have all the contents of the universe together and expect it to come apart. Good question. Who's going to squeeze that together? Gravity?
You know, it kind of makes me sick when he gets talking about cosmology like this. I mean, it makes me sick in a lot of ways for a lot of reasons, but there's a particular kind of sickness that I feel when he talks about the universe this way, given how much I love, astrophysics and shit.
Mass of the particles is strong enough to condense it all into a dot smaller than an atom.
That's not how any of that worked.
Not science, guys. That's it. Thank you so much. Okay, tomorrow night and the next night, we'll have opportunity for call-in show. I'll start off by whacking somebody just for a few minutes, and then you can call in with where's the evidence for evolution? Would somebody please call in and show us?
And yep, stretched out like a tent, clearly thought the earth was flat. I mean, really, if you do read all that text, the Bible does say the earth is flat.
Yeah, please, bring it tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Call your professors. Get on Hovind Show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. He wants to...
Happy birthday, Izu. Everyone say hi to Otaku's birthday. Otaku's, everyone say hi to Otaku's birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Otaku's cat or you're getting banned.
See the evidence. You've been teaching us in school, there's a whole bunch. Everyone he's debunked. Yep, and I'll debunk them all. And we'll tell you.
Yeah, honestly, a genetically modified skeptic uploaded a video today about the arguing with evangelicals and the like, and discussing at key points of it, the nuance of debating them, and how it's just completely pointless. So that's why what actually inspired me to set up my final ultimatum to Kent that if he ever wants to debate me, that's his opportunity, and that's it. And Ale Trucker, actually, when it comes to Big Bang cosmology, gravity isn't quite a factor yet. It's a bit more muddled than that. But the eventual recoalescing of the matter that resulted from the the distribution of matter in the early universe was non-homogeneous. There were abnormalities in it, which are part of what we see in the cosmic microwave background. You see different matter densities in that reflected light. And that has directly shaped the structure of the greater cosmos, which is far more massive and intricate than Hovind could ever think. In the grand scale, the universe looks like a sponge.
If after I die, keep my stuff going, would you? Okay. All right, see you.
Piss off. Oh, look, the stream is over. Yay. It's over. Yeah, it's all good, Trucker. It's all good. It gets complicated. This stuff gets a little muddy. Yeah. Wow, that was painful. At least we got to hear Pluto Pilot say some awesome shit again. That was always a plus. Our friend Tyler in the chat, in case some of you didn't catch that is Pluto Pilot. Pluto Pilot. A Pluto Pilot. Pluto Pilot versus Hovind. Round 1. Fight, uwu. Oh, fuck. All right. All right, tomorrow's Friday. I don't know if I'll stream or not. May or may not. Actually, probably won't. I might be busy tomorrow night. That sounded different from how I intended it to, but sure, we'll just go with that. Hey, I might be busy. No. But yeah, I had fun because of you, as always. It's a lot better to do these live than to do them pre-recorded, as I used to, because I actually have the audience here. So yeah, as always, much love, everybody. I am going to isotropy, exactly. I am going to Ken is like stepping on a Lego with your brain. Yeah, really is. Permanent damage is done already. And no, you're fine, Ale Trucker. Really, you're good, buddy. Don't worry. Zooming with an uwu. Uwu's in the chat, everybody. Stream with his pausing and standing effects somewhat shorter than Kent's stream watched unaltered. Anyone know how unaltered Kent slows time? Yeah, that is really interesting. I can go for an hour and 15 minutes, and Hovind can go for like 30, and it's infinitely quicker for me to stream than it is to just watch Hovind by itself. Okay, so we're talking about boobs in the chat. All right, that's a thing. Seth saying be there about 2:30. That is most definitely going to be AM. All righty, good to hear. So-called Christians expect to be nice to fundy losers and tired of telling them no. Frauds and fascists don't deserve courtesy. Yeah. And yep, much love, everyone, as always. Catch y'all next time. Discord down below. You know you want to join. You know you want to be in it. You got to be in it to win it. Win what? I don't know. Easier access to me. Chatting with friends. Seeing me play Guild Wars for 5 minutes, then quit, then play again 5 more minutes later.